In this video I will show you that how Django authenticate method basically works. So first of all, let's make a app. So my app will, let's say, app 2, and I will open with my VS Code. So first of all, I will make a virtual environment for making the Python code, and I will do another stuff as well. So virtual env and then env. Now activate this file by this command. Now type pip install and then Django. So we will install the Django project as well, and then we will start a project by giving the project name. So now type Django admin start project, and let's say my project name is base. Now I will also make a app called core, okay, and I will also make another app called home. Alright, now this time we will need to integrate this app with our main app, or sorry, main project. So first, for that, I will make a new list as external apps, and inside that I will mention all the names. So it will be core and another will be home. Now I will install by installed apps equals installed apps plus external apps. Okay, now I need to start my server, so I will type python manage.py and then run server. So the server got started. Alright, now we will need to make some URLs here. So for that, in the home directory I need to make a URL folder. So I will type as templates. Inside templates I will need to make a file called index.html. okay, and I will use a bootstrap form also. So I will search as bootstrap, and I will go to bootstrap website, and after that I will go to docs, and from here I will copy this form, and I will need to make this form as say registration form. Okay, now I need to make some break tag as well. Now I will make a row here, and inside here I need to make some column settings as well, right? Alright, now I need to trigger this form. So for that, in the home I will create a file called urls.py, and I need to import the path from here. So I need to type path, okay, and I need to also type URL patterns here, which will detect the URLs, and I also need to import the views from here. Okay, so these views basically trigger this views file. So here, let's say I make a file called function called home view, and inside home view I need to make a request, and it will render a form by request, which is index.html. okay, now I need to include the path as default, so I will call the home view. Okay, now I need to include this home folder URLs inside base directory. So in the base directory URLs I need to mention a path. So my path, let's say, is default path, and it will include a thing. So I need to import the include, and inside include I will include home.urls. okay, alright, now I hope this is all working fine. It says path not defined. Okay, let's test our thing, is it working fine or not. So if I open localhost 8000, so as you can see it open the registration form, but there is no form. Don't worry. So I will search as form, and let's say I copy a form code here, and inside the home templates index.html I just paste the code. Right now, first of all, making any types of forms or any types of login registration stuff, you need to register all the models. So I will type python manage.py make migrations, and it will make a migrations file here. Okay, now I need to type just migrate. So as you can see, all the migration has completed, and in the db.sqlite I can see all the tables here. Okay, so our goal is we will register all the user under this auth user table. Okay, so let's see how to do this. So in the auth user we have many types of fields here, but we will need some types of field, which is this last name. Okay, so the first name, last name, email, and it will another which is password and username. So 5 types of field is basically required. So we have the email address and the password field as well. So we need basically first name, last name, and username. So I will make these 3 fields here. So let's make this field. So the first field will be for first name. Okay, and let's say this is first name, and I will copy this thing here, and I need to make name, and this will be a text here. Okay, and I need to set the required path as well. Now I will copy this thing and paste it here, and this will be for last name, and I will write like last name. Okay, now copy the thing and paste and replace this all. Now I will again copy this thing, and I will use it for username. So I will be use username. Okay, let's make it capital. So username. Okay, and let's say this field will be for username, so it will be username and username. Okay, for email address I will use email, and it will be for email, and it will be also for email. Okay, and the password, it will be say password and it will be password. All right, now the thing is, when I just remember this thing, so when I register this index.html form, this request will goes into this home view and it will register the form. So how can it be achieved? So for that I need to mention that what types of request it send. So it will send the post request, and it will also send the CSRF token. So I will type CSRF token, CSRF token. Okay, so when user send the request, it will goes into this home view because it render the index.html. So I will write like request dot method equal post. Okay, and for the else I also, let's say, return this thing. So why I write request dot method equal post? Because in the form I mentioned the method is post. So first of all I will receive all the data. So for that I will also type return HTTP response. So let's import the response. So I will type Django dot HTTP import HTTP response. So let's return an HTTP response as form data get, and I will type like data equals to request dot post, and I will print all the data here. Okay, So let's check is everything is working or not perfectly. So if I refresh, so as you can see, this is the registration form. So if I fill the registration form data and if I click on the submit button, all the request parameter will be get by this home view, right, and it will print here. So let's see. So my first name is Shimantya Dash, and let's say my this is Shimantya @mail.com, okay, and password let's say shi123. If I click on submit, it says form data get. So here as you can see, our all the query dictionary is here. So our now work is we need to get all these parameters, right, and register inside the user model. So for that I will use the Django by default user model. So I will using Django, okay, Django dot I hope maybe contrib, okay, and Django dot contrib dot I also forgot Django dot contrib import user. Let's Google it, I forgot, okay. So import Django dot contrib user model. Where is the model? Let's see. Okay, so this is from, let's copy the code. Actually I also forgot. So Django contrib auth models user model, okay. So here I need to register everything. So for that let's cut this thing. So our first goal is to get all the parameters, okay, parameters. So first of all the name will be from first name. So I will type like this data. So data dot get, which is get the first name, okay, and it will also get another fields like last name, username, email and password. So I make the copy of this, okay, and second thing will be for last name. So I will copy this, I will replace this, then will be username. So I will use username, and another will be for email and password. So I will manually write this. So this will be for, sorry guys, email and password, okay. So for that I will use, let's say for the first name I let's say use f name. So for the last name I will use l name. For the username I will use uname, okay. For email I will use email, and the password I will use passwd, okay. So now I will use the user model which has been imported from the auth models, and this user model basically represents this default auth user model, okay. So now I will use the user model here. So I will type user dot objects dot create, okay, and here I will use the model's name, model field's name actually. So the first name is the first underscore name. So I will use first name, okay, and I will pass this first name here from the required parameter. Then I will pass the last name, and I will pass the l name from the here. Then I will pass username, and I will pass uname from here. Then I will pass email as email parameter, okay. Now I need to make a user object from this, and here I will type user dot set password, and here I need to pass the passwd. Now I will type user dot save, and it will save the form. But one thing remember, whenever you save anything in the database, try to use the try catch method, because if any problem occurs, so our code will still work. So type exception as E and print the error and just return the HTTP response as error occurred. Okay, and if everything goes successful, so just make the another HTTP response as form data saved. Okay, so let's try this code. So we don't need this line anymore here. Okay, so let's make a registration form and let's see what the output goes and what will be the value here. So there is no value here, as you can see. So I will make a request here. So first of all, let's refresh the page. Okay, now there is no record. Okay, so fine, first record will be as my name, which is Shimante Dash. Username will be, let's say, me Shimantya. Okay, email address, let's say shimantya@mail.com, and the password will be shi123. and if I click on submit, okay, it shows me some error, which is WHUI request no attribute pause. What the error? Let's see. Okay, sorry, there is a mistake. It will be post, not request dot pause. Okay, let's again make the form. So this will be shi123, and okay, let's make the submit. So as you can see, it says form data saved, and if I goes to DB SQLite, as you can see, the form data we have been get the first name, the email, the last name. Okay, and we'll also get the password in the hash format, because we use the set password, which basically used to hash the password. So we get the hash password, and we got the username and other stuff as well. So now our goal is to make a login form. So for that, first of all, let's make a login from here. So for that, in the URL pattern, I will make a login. So I will type as login, and it will launch a login view here. Okay, so login view, I need to make this login view inside this views.py file. Okay, so I will type def and login view, and I type request, and I type pass. So first of all, I need to render this form. So I will type return render. So if it get the request, it basically loads the login.html form. Okay, so I need to make this form inside here. So I will paste the thing, and let's copy the code of index.html, and let's modify this code by login form. And for the login, we only need this username and password field. So we don't need this email field, and we don't also need this field as well. Okay, we just need this clean form, and let's say this will be success. And okay, everything I think working fine. Let's check is everything working or not. So in the URLs, we need to hit this login. So if I open this form here, and if I type, so we open the registration form, and if I type here, let's say login, so we open the login form. So in the login form, we need to input the username and password, and if those goes right, so we will display a message. Okay, so how can we do this? So further, so if user send the request as post request, this will goes into this view. Okay, so we can write like if request dot method equal post. Okay, so just make the pass, and I will just pass like here. Okay, so let's make a HTTP response here. So first of all, we need to get the all data. So I will type data equals to request dot post, and first of all we need to get the email from here. So I will type data dot get, and we will type email, and I will type passwd password equals to data dot get password. Okay, so we will also need to import the authenticate method here. So I will type from Django dot contrib dot auth import authenticate, and we'll also import the logout view also, right? And we also need to import the login as well. So let's see the usage of authenticate. So I will type authenticate. So I will type username. Okay, oh sorry, in the login form we just mentioned the username, right? So I will type this as username, and let's say this will be uname. Okay, so in the authenticate we will pass username as uname, and password equals to password. Okay, and if everything goes wrong right, so I will return this as user. So if I type if user, then make the pass, and okay, so let's modify this code. So if user got validate, right, so I will call the login, and from here I will type just request, and I need to pass this user, and I need to make a response as http response, and I will type login data matched. Okay, and if the user does not authenticate, so I will return a message as enter correct credentials. Okay, so let's try what's happened. And one thing you see guys, in the inspect, if I go to application, and from in the storage, if I go to cookies, there is no session ID here. Okay, there is no session ID. So if I make the successful login, I will get a session ID. So the username is for me is currently me Shimantya, and the password is shi123. So if I click on submit, it says login data matched, and in the cookies, if I go there, you can see this is the session ID. So this is the thing, when you enter the correct credential, you got this session ID. Okay, so I can delete this thing as well. So if I click on this delete file, so it got deleted. So let's make some wrong credential. Let's say shi124, which is wrong credential. If I click on submit, it says enter correct credential. It's mean our application login is working perfectly, right? So this is the process of login. Okay, so after successful login and registration, this time is to make a dashboard here. Okay, so let's make a correct username and password. So I will use shi123. So we got the login data matched, and in the inside cookies we got this session ID. So using this session ID, we will redirect into the dashboard view. So for that, in the URLs file, I need to make a dashboard route. So I will use this as a dashboard. Okay, and here I will use dashboard view. Okay, so let's copy the thing, and in the views file I will use this here. Okay, so this. So our first goal is to get the user is authenticated or not. So if the user is authenticated, we will redirect into the dashboard view. So I will make a simple file here as dashboard.html. Okay, and here I will make a simple dashboard form. So I will type dashboard, right, and here I need to make h2 and I need to make dashboard page, right. I need to pass a simple style as color, okay, color, say not brown, I need to say as red, okay, and here I need to type font size, so this will be, let's say, 20 pixel. So I need to make this thing, okay. So let's make return render, and in the request it will render this dashboard.html. So first of all I need to make the user is authenticated or not. So for that I will type request dot user dot is authenticated, maybe, I think. Let's see the documentation, is authenticated, okay. So is authenticated, okay, let's pass this, and if not authenticated, just pass this. So if the user is authenticated, so you need to redirect into the dashboard.html, and if it not valid, so you need to redirect into another. So I need to type redirect, and where it will redirect, so it will redirect into login, okay. So I will type login. So let's see what happened. So here if I type dashboard, what happened, let's see. So here if I comes here and let's make this thing, and if I type here, let's say login, we go to login. If I type the dashboard and hit enter, it shows the dashboard page, because in the cookies it's found the session ID, right. So if I delete this thing, okay, and if I again hit the dashboard, it goes to login, okay. So it basically the problem of URL, all right. So let's make the again dashboard, so it goes to login, okay. So it's mean you need to properly validate this thing. So if in the user is make the proper login, so it will redirect into the dashboard view. So for that I will use like this. So I will just comment the form and I will hit like dashboard, dashboard, okay. So when I hit this dashboard, it will goes into this URLs file, and by using this front forward slash, I basically mention the default route, okay. You will understand day by day what is happening actually. So when user make the successful login, it will redirect into dashboard, and if the user does not authenticate, it will redirect into login URL, which is here, okay. So let's see what happened, okay. So I will go to the default route, which is registration form, okay. So let's try another browser, okay, because I shows from the Firefox. Let's try Chrome, okay. So I open the localhost 8000 port. So localhost 8000, which is registration form. In the inspect, if I go to the application, in the cookies I got this thing, okay. Let's minimize this. So I get this CSRF token, okay. Let's register another user, let's say Mia Toretto, and this is, let's say, Mia Toretto, okay. And let's say mail is mia@mail.com, and password, let's say Mia123, okay. So when user just make the registration, it need to go into the login view. So for that, when user make the registration, successful registration, I will type return redirect, where it will redirect into the login. Okay, and I can also pass many things. Okay, let's make the simple login. Okay, so if I make the submit button, it shows the login. Okay, so if I paste the username and the correct password, if I click on submit, it goes to dashboard page. So this is basically the flow of authentication. Okay, so you need to make it in this way. So I hope this video is very long, but don't worry, I will show you every process step by step. So till now we have been shown basically the registration, the login and the dashboard view. So we need to also make the logout function as well, right? So for that, say for the logout, you can make this is very simple logout. So just you need to type here logout. Okay, and just type here logout view. Okay, and copy the thing and go to the views.py and make a function as logout view, right? Pass the request, pass the pass thing. So first of all, we need to validate if the user is actually authenticated or not. So if the user is authenticated, so we need to make the logout. So you can search here, let's say just search for Django authentication, go to the doc Django authentication. Okay, try another doc. Okay, and from here just search for logout. Okay, so this is the logout code. This is very small code actually, guys. Just make the logout request, just make it logout and the request, and render the, just you need to return into the home page. Just type return redirect. Okay, and just type here like this. So let's see what happened. So if I hit the logout view, if I hit the logout on the URL by this logout, so it will hit the logout view. It means it will hit this function. Okay, and it will make the logout request, and if I go to try to access the dashboard page, it will automatically redirect into login page. But till now I have been logged in, so I will stay into this page. So what I mean actually, so currently I am in the dashboard page because I am currently logged in. Okay, so if I again hit this, we got the dashboard page, right? But the magic is, if I hit the logout here and if I hit, so you see I comes into registration page because the logic written here. But the thing is, if I again hit the dashboard, I again come back to login URL, because if you inspect this, you see we does not have the session ID here. But now if I again log in, so what happens? So the username is Mia Toretto. If I see the database, Mia Toretto is username. Okay, and the password is Mia123. If I click on submit, I go to the dashboard page and you can see we got the session ID. So this is basically the actual concept behind the authenticate, login and logout in the Django forms. I hope this video is helpful for you. If you want to watch more tutorial, I suggest just search for Django authentication. Just search in the Google Django authentication, and you can see this is basically the documentation of this. Okay, so just read the documentation step by step, whatever written in this documentation. This is enough for you. Okay guys, because you see basically all the videos, but most of the people does not follow documentation. I will hardly suggest you to follow this documentation. Every step I shown in this video is written here in the documentation. Okay, So I hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you in the next time.